You know the ads, right? Coca-Cola spends billions selling us this one simple idea: happiness, togetherness, a polar bear sharing a Coke. But what if I told you that behind that feel-good image is a story that's, well, a lot more complicated and honestly pretty disturbing? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really look at how this global empire was built and what the real cost was.
Wow. I mean, that quote right there just cuts straight to the point, doesn't it? It's basically the theme for this entire explainer. It's a reminder that we have to look past the shiny red cans and into the messy, complicated history of how this, let's be honest, sugary drink became one of the most powerful brands on the entire planet.
All right, so let's jump in. Our story starts way back in the 1880s. And you got to picture this. It was basically the Wild West of medicine. There were no rules, no FDA, nothing. You had these patent medicines being sold that promised to cure, everything. And it's from this chaotic, unregulated world that Coca-Cola first emerged.
Okay, so meet the inventor, John Pemberton. He was a war vet, and he was struggling with a really serious morphine addiction. To deal with it, he got into this popular tonic at the time called Vin Mariani, which was, get this, basically just wine mixed with cocaine. He liked it so much he decided to make his own version, his own knockoff. But then, boom, Prohibition hits his home state of Georgia. Suddenly, the wine is illegal. He has to take it out. He swaps it for carbonated water, but that tastes awful and bitter. His solution? Just dump in a massive amount of sugar. And just like that, Coca-Cola is born. And here's the wild part. Look at that last date. The active cocaine wasn't fully removed until 1929. That's a long time.
And the name? It wasn't some clever marketing invention. It was literally just a list of the main ingredients. Coca for the coca leaf, where cocaine comes from, and cola for the cola nut, which gave it that caffeine kick. So you got a euphoric hit and a stimulant hit all in one. What's crazy is that for years, the company flat out denied there was ever cocaine in it, even though the evidence was overwhelming.
So after Pemberton passes away, this new guy, Asa Candler, comes into the picture. And Candler has a totally different vision. He realizes, hey, the real money isn't in selling this as some kind of brain tonic for headaches. No, the real gold mine was in making it a refreshing drink for everybody. And that one little shift in strategy, it was about to change the world of advertising forever.
This guy Candler was an absolute marketing genius. Think about the stuff he did. It's the playbook for modern advertising. He plastered the logo on literally everything he could find, from barns to billboards. He was one of the first to give out free coupons, to get people hooked. He even helped solidify the image of Santa Claus we all know today, the big jolly guy in red. But for all his genius, he made one of the most famously bad business deals in history. He sold the exclusive rights to bottle Coca-Cola for $1, just a single dollar. That mistake cost the company an unbelievable amount of money for decades.
Okay, so fast forward a bit. All this relentless marketing hits a whole new level during World War II. This is where Coca-Cola pulls off maybe its greatest marketing move of all time. Think about it. It's a time of national sacrifice, of rationing. And somehow Coke convinces everyone that their sugary drink isn't a luxury. No, it's an essential part of the American war effort.
And this quote from the company president, Robert Woodruff, says it all, promising every single soldier a bottle of Coke for just 5 cents, no matter where they were or what it cost the company. That's just brilliant. It forged this deep emotional bond. Suddenly, Coke wasn't just a drink, it was patriotism in a bottle. It was a taste of home for all those GIs overseas. They even managed to get an exemption from sugar rationing by arguing it was crucial for troop morale. Incredible.
But, and this is a huge but, here's the side of the story you definitely won't see in any of those happy-go-lucky commercials. While Coke was becoming this symbol of American patriotism, its German division was, doing business as usual, inside Nazi Germany. Yeah. The Coke logo was showing up next to swastikas at Hitler Youth rallies. And then, when the war cut off the syrup supply from the US, the guy running Coke Germany got creative. To keep the factories running and the profits coming, he invented a whole new drink using whatever food scraps he could find, like fruit pulp and whey. And what was that drink? It was Fanta.
So after the war, Coca-Cola's global takeover just explodes. And a lot of that expansion was actually bankrolled by the US government. But as the company got bigger and bigger, the carefully crafted wholesome image started to crack. It began to run up against some really serious accusations about its impact on health, the environment, and even human rights.
Let's start with health. Look at this number, 60%.
A kid who has just one sugary drink a day is 60% more likely to become overweight. This stat really gets to the heart of what critics call Coke's cradle-to-grave marketing strategy. The goal is to get you hooked as young as possible. They've even made exclusive deals with schools, basically putting their vending machines and logos right in front of kids all day long. And the list of controversies just keeps going. On the health front, they've poured millions into lobbying against things like sugar taxes, and they've funded their own scientific studies to create doubt about the links to obesity, a tactic straight out of the old tobacco industry playbook. Then there's the environment. In India, they were accused of contaminating groundwater. In parts of Mexico, they've been blamed for using up scarce water resources in drought-stricken areas. And then there's the really dark stuff. The labor issues. The company has been hit with lawsuits alleging that their bottling partners in places like Colombia and Guatemala were involved in intimidating, torturing, and even murdering union leaders. It got so bad it sparked a whole campaign called Killer Coke.
And this quote, it just brings it all home. You know, it's not about abstract corporate reports, it's about real people. A villager in India talking about how their lives were fine, the water was clean, and then the company came. It puts a human face on these huge global controversies.
But here's the incredible irony in all of this. After all those serious life-and-death allegations, the single biggest PR disaster in Coca-Cola's history had nothing to do with any of it. Nope, it came when they decided to commit what their customers saw as the ultimate sin. They changed the formula. And why'd they do it? Pure fear of their biggest rival, Pepsi.
So what was going on? Well, you might remember the Pepsi challenge. Pepsi was running these ads showing that in blind taste tests, people actually preferred the taste of Pepsi over Coke. And here's the thing. When Coke did their own secret taste tests, they found the exact same thing. So they went back to the lab, created a new, sweeter formula, and in their tests, this new Coke beat both Pepsi and the original Coke. The data was crystal clear. It seemed like a no-brainer, a purely logical, data-driven decision.
And the public's reaction was absolute fury. I mean, people lost their minds. The company was getting thousands of furious phone calls every single day. People were literally booing new Coke commercials when they came on the big screens at stadiums. It was a total firestorm. People felt like Coke hadn't just changed to drink. They had stolen a piece of their childhood. They had betrayed an American icon.
So what happens next is just amazing. What looked like the biggest marketing blunder of all time somehow accidentally turned into one of the greatest marketing triumphs ever. After just 79 days of chaos, the company gave in. They brought back the original formula, calling it Coca-Cola Classic. And that public fury, it instantly turned into pure joy. People felt like they had fought the big corporation and won. And what happened to sales? They skyrocketed. Customer loyalty was stronger than it had ever been before.
And this whole insane episode revealed the real truth about Coca-Cola. It proved that the legendary secret formula, the one they keep locked away in a vault, was never actually the secret to their success at all.
Just stop and think about that for a second. The data was undeniable. People preferred the taste of Pepsi and they preferred the taste of new Coke. And yet, the public rose up and furiously demanded that the company bring back the one product they demonstrably liked the least. What does that tell you? It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Coca-Cola's power was never about what was actually in the bottle. It was about the 100 years of marketing that turned simple sugar water into a global icon.
The brand, the memories, the feeling of nostalgia, it's all so powerful that it can literally change how we perceive taste. It overrides our own senses. Which brings us to the big final question. The one I want to leave you with. The next time you see that red can, ask yourself, what are you really buying? Are you buying a drink? Or are you buying an idea?